Hello, this is Peter Murphy, President and CEO of the Illinois Association of Park Districts. Today, we are presenting another video as part of our Legends video series. One of the missions of IAPD is to recognize outstanding park, forest preserve, and conservation district board members throughout the state of Illinois. I hope the knowledge and insights these great leaders provide will inspire you to continue to make a positive impact at your agency and in your community. Please enjoy.
Hello, I'm Wayne Utterback, Director of Communications and Digital Content for the Illinois Association of Park Districts, and I'm very pleased today to be joined by St. Charles Park District Commissioner Jim Cooke. Jim, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Can you tell me a little bit about how long you've been here with the Park District?
Okay, I've been with the Park District as a commissioner for, again, I'm not sure, 35 or 36 years now. And actually, I've been, of course, when I was younger, I was a participant with Park District activities. And prior to my becoming a board member, I was a member and chairman of an advisory committee for a facility for the Park District.
How would you say your overall experience has been with the Park District?
Obviously, it's been good. It's been very good. I've been very happy with it, and I think it's been a real mutually fulfilling experience for, hopefully with the Park District, and those people that I've worked with, but also for myself.
Was there a particular motivating factor that got you started on this path?
You know, I think everybody has their issues. I don't quite recall what my issue was. I was, however, as I said, on an advisory committee for a facility for the Park District called the Norris Recreation Center, way back when the district used to manage it, as they do now, but there was a long time that the school district took that over. But when we first did that, I used to use that facility quite a bit, and I found there were some things I thought could be improved upon, and the district thought the same way, so they started ask for volunteers for a committee, and I became a member and chair of that committee.
Having been a commissioner here, what are some things that make St. Charles special?
Well, that's kind of a broad question. It's hard to say. I think St. Charles is special because of when we're talking St. Charles Park District we're talking about.
Yes.
Because of the people in the district and the culture itself in the district. The people that work in the St. Charles Park District, there are so many people that have worked here for many years. You know, there's turnover like any place else, but there's not that much turnover. You know, we have people that have worked here for 30 years, 20 years, 15 years, things like that. And, you know, it's kind of rewarding to see those kind of people working there. And really, this Park District, and again, I'm sure others have the same qualities. I'm just not able to address those. The Park District has, you know, a very nice culture. Call it karma. I don't know what you want to say. And I think for in large part, the board and the staff get along very well. But more importantly, the staff, who are really our ambassadors to the community that we serve, are really good with the community, really good with people, and I think that's why we have a constituency that really appreciates the district.
What keeps you engaged and involved today?
Maybe it's just like a bad habit. I don't know. I can't tell you. I mean, I enjoy the challenges that come up along the way. Always trying this district, again, I'm not suggesting that we're exclusive, but all I can speak to is St. Charles. This district, we're always trying to stay ahead of the curve, trying to anticipate what our constituents would like to have as far as programs and facilities. And we have, frankly, our people that work here are professionals, and they're very good at what they do. So I enjoy that kind of synergy, you might say, and always trying to, you know, get ahead of, be proactive rather than just be responsive all the time. We're responsive also, but we like to be proactive with what the trends are and what people may want.
Shifting gears more toward your experience as a commissioner, what's a good philosophy a commissioner should adopt in order to be successful?
Well, I don't know there's any one philosophy. I think it's more a demeanor to some extent, and also a challenge that the individual needs to be ready to learn and really appreciate what the staff as professionals are able to share with us, but also be able to impart the individual commissioner's perspective as well as the accumulation of information that commissioner may have from the constituents that we serve. So that's kind of, I don't know, that's a long way to say not much about anything, I guess, but you just have to be kind of open and trying to learn things and develop things. And it's fun to get challenges, to say we're going to try to pass a referendum, or we're going to try to, design a new facility, or we're going to try to anticipate more field usage and things like that.
Obviously, for new commissioners, there are a lot of challenges they face.
Right.
What's some advice you'd give to someone who is stepping into the role of a commissioner?
I guess the easiest advice would be not to be a single issue commissioners, and also allow a certain amount of time to appreciate and develop the learning curve. It's always interesting. Occasionally you'll see commissioners get on the board that are very single issue, and they're kind of blinded to other things they don't necessarily, and they come in with some of them will come in with one perspective, but you really have to kind of sit back and learn, certainly over the first 6 months or more, about all the financial aspects and all the other considerations that as a park district, commissioner and as the district itself, that we have to take into consideration when we look at any given issue.
Speaking of issues, this is a question I like to ask all commissioners that I speak to. When you think about how park districts serve communities, do you feel park districts deliver those services better than a city government could?
I can't totally answer that because I'm not that experienced with what cities can do, but I've seen it to some extent in surrounding communities, a few that have parks departments rather than park districts. And I can tell you in an easy way that I think that a city has so many things that they're responsible for, or that it is responsible for, I should say, like sewer and water and streets and I mentioned sanitation and other things, that I think in the budgetary process sometimes it's possible that the park district may not be the priority it needs to be to get the funding and also the consideration it needs, as well as staffing. Sometimes they'll have a commissioner of parks who is on the city staff, or a director of parks or something, but they don't have a lot of the staff underneath them. And in a park district, recreation and the facilities that promote that are a major priority. And there's of course taxing and other things that support that, but that's the priority. It's not diffused by other priorities that come in as far as sanitation or roads or things like that. So I think it's a much better system to have a park district. I really do.
I'm sure in your time here at the St. Charles Park District, you've met amazing professionals. What are some attributes that you see that really stand out in the professionals who are at the top of the field?
Well, I think it's the same with any field. I think it's certainly intelligence, and I think it's discipline. And for lack of a better word, it could be people skills. I think the best professionals are able to work with people, deal with people, whether it be a director working with the board, or another staff member working with people in a class, or in a positive way, or people that maybe are complaining. Who knows, And I think it's that kind of ability to work with people and have the intelligence to be able to do that in a responsive and appropriate way that makes it very important.
Following that, speaking about how staff can handle the problems the community brings to them, and pivoting off of that, what are some of the challenges park districts are facing now, and what are some ways to resolve those problems?
I don't have any off the top of my head, to be honest with you. I think the biggest challenge, there is the biggest challenge, and that is, I think as we go forward, I think funding is going to be more of an issue. People in Illinois are very frustrated with taxation, and as a consequence, I don't think there's going to be as much funding for everything, including park districts. So I think districts have to be more responsible, or more careful to think of creative ways to expand and pay for their programs and their facilities in a way without increasing taxes too much and without putting a further burden on their constituents.
What are some potential opportunities the park districts might be able to leverage?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know that I have the answer to that. I really don't. I think, in our district, I'm proud of the fact that and it isn't because of me, by the way, I'm just saying that my experience on the board, we've been very proactive for many years working with other governmental entities in our area. And as a consequence, I think we've been very careful with money as a result of it. The Kane County Forest Reserve District and the Park District have a lot of partnerships, so to speak, where the Kane County Forest Reserve District may own property, and we will go in on an agreement to either develop or to use it for recreation and program it, as it were. And that works out very well. We don't have to buy the property; they lease it to us, I should say. And works out. The same thing with the St. Charles School District. We've got an excellent rapport with them, and the more than one government entity can work with another entity, the more you're going to save money. You're not going to duplicate, expenditures, and it's going to be just much better for the constituents.
Now, I want to ask you a little bit about IAPD. What are some benefits of a commissioner getting involved with IAPD?
There's no denying that the IAPD offers a lot of good input in terms of what's happening in the industry, what the political situation may be, things that confront us that affect us all the time. And then it offers, because of its seminars and also its convention, everything else, a chance for our professionals and our commissioners to interact with other commissioners and professionals from other districts and exchange information, which is huge.
Looking back at your service, what would you consider to be one of your major contributions to the field of parks and recreation?
That's pretty profound, and I'm not sure I can really say that I have any major contributions to the field of parks and recreation, to be honest with you. I've always been just one member of a 7-member board, and you always have to remember that's all you are, is just one member. I like to think that I've been a factor in making things happen. Certain things happen, and I've certainly been, a factor in making this district, I think, as good as we could make it. But again, it's a collaborative effort between the staff, the board, and to think otherwise would be kind of self-indulgent, I think,
If funds were unlimited, what would you like to see done for the St. Charles Park District?
Well, I think that several years ago, during the recession, not surprisingly, we had a referendum we wanted to pass to build a recreation center, a major recreation center. It was beautifully designed, and it would have been great, and it wouldn't have cost that much, about $100 per taxpayer for like a $300,000 home, something along that line. But because of the mood then and now with regard to no more taxes, it was soundly defeated, which is what referenda are for. So it wasn't like horrible. But if all the money was available, that's a facility I'd like to see built. There's another facility that we've been talking about that hasn't gotten the funding yet from private sources that was anticipated. It's a swimming complex, indoor swimming complex for Swim City that would be nice to be able to. If we had unlimited funds, we could build that also. And we also have some other ideas about like a tournament location for outdoor sports, be it soccer, lacrosse, football, etc., all that kind of stuff. So, and just have that area be just solely utilized for tournaments, and not for our recreational usage. I'm going to say rec programs that aren't, be for travel clubs and things like that.
All right, now last question. I'd love to know your thoughts. What do you see as the vision for the future of parks and recreation in Illinois?
You see, that's another one of those profound questions that I don't know that I have an answer for. I certainly hope that every once in a while you'll see that there are challenges, people that are trying to show themselves to be politicians that are trying to show themselves as being fiscally responsible, saying they want to reduce the number of governmental entities and taxing bodies in the state. And one of the things they talk about is no longer having park districts. I certainly hope that doesn't happen. I think that would be a shame if it did. Even though I am not that well versed in other states and how they handle it, I've had people that I've met that come into Illinois who've been in states that don't have park districts, and they're just amazed. They love, they may have national parks or state parks, but they don't have as much in their municipalities as we do here, and they love it. It's certainly an amenity that they just, it's a huge thing, and if the indication of those types of things to reduce the taxing bodies would be to get rid of park districts, that would be a shame. I think it would hurt the estate and hurt people in it.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me. It's been fantastic.
Great.
Thank you very much for your time, Jim.
Thank you for your time.
This interview was part of the Illinois Association of Park Districts Legends video series. For more interviews, please visit us at our content-rich website at ilparks.org/legends. Also, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram for all the latest videos, resources, events, and more. Thank you so much for watching.